This project is called the Garden Pavilion because primarily the clients at the start of the project wanted to have a really beautiful home and also keep their garden. And unfortunately, we couldn't do both completely, but what we've managed to do is to actually put this footprint within the garden setting and surrounded by the garden setting, so it really does feel like we're actually sitting in the garden. The house is a return villa, a lovely old character home that is quite common around the Parkside area. It had unfortunately had about 3 or 4 different additions put onto the back of it, and none of it made sense when we first arrived. The client was despairing about how it was just a shambolic plan and all falling apart. And what we were tasked with doing was to actually clear away all of the spaces that didn't make any sense and to fix the building so that it didn't leak when it rained, which has turned out to be quite a challenge in one way, but actually quite an easy task in another.
So we bought this house knowing that we were going to take on a project that was going to be quite large for us. We bought it with a young family. We were just about to have a second child. We fell in love with the character of the home. We knew that we wanted to have a house that had a character frontage, but then a modern extension at the back, and we saw a lot of potential in this area. It was a great block of land and we thought, yeah, let's go for it.
Some of the key details that we talked about with the client and with the team was the high degree of finish. Even because the footprint was actually kept quite small, we had the advantage of actually then using some really lovely finishes to give it some polish and some sophistication that otherwise might not have been the case. We've also worked quite hard to bring the garden right up to the edge of the building so that it really does feel nestled into the garden and there aren't these transition zones between building and garden. The question of what is the experience of walking from the old house into the new is very much one that is similar to the idea of light and air and bright. What we'd like to do with modern additions to old character homes is to give as much height as we can, to give as much light, air, brightness, so that when you actually step from what were the old spaces into the new space, all of a sudden everything lifts. The light level, the height of the ceiling. So what we've done here is as the clients come down the hallway and they make that step into the new zone, we've got a huge wall of glass right there at that point so that not only is it light and bright, but it's flooded with light.
I sit in here and I can watch a storm go past. I can sit in here and listen to the rain and actually see it, not just listen to it, which is a really beautiful thing. When you wake up and you walk down the hallway, there's this sense of light that envelopes you. The house has a really calm feel about it, and I think myself and my husband aren't manic people. We like calm, we like still, even though we have a very busy life and we have 2 crazy young kids, that walking down the hallway in the morning and having a connection to seeing what's going on outside with the sky, having a nice flowing space where I don't even need to turn a light on in the morning is really a lovely feeling.
One of the most thrilling outcomes of this project is the way that we've designed the roof and the facades of glass to capture the light as it kind of passes across the sky through the day. The shadows sweep across the room all day, every day, and actually really enliven the space. Together with the trees that we've got around the building, the dappled light from the trees through the leaves just adds such a softness to the way that the spaces feel. To be honest, I love coming back and visiting this project every time we manage to get to do it, because I do get that sense of we're in a little pavilion that is nestled in the garden and it's always light, it's always bright. It's obviously very lovely to pop back and see the clients and see how they're doing, but to be honest, the joy of actually this space and how it came together, just as we had imagined it, is so rewarding, I can't put into words.